Welcome all once again. Now in this part 2, we'll actually create the Maui project. So in the previous lecture, we have gone for the introduction to this whole series of lectures, which is a notes application. And if you haven't gone through this, I will mark it in the video description. And let's switch over to Visual Studio and start making our first project. So a new project. So .NET Maui app. Recent project template .NET Maui app. So that means I will make this project name as notes. And solution name is notes, and this is unchecked, so let it be. So, and we'll go for clicking next. .NET 8 long-term support, create. So my project is created. Now this is the notes project. The solution name and the project, there is just one project with the name notes, with the solution notes. This is just a hello world project with the given template that appears first. Now this needs to change a lot over the forthcoming lectures, so stay tuned. And before we move on to the deployment targets, the easiest deployment target is the Windows machine. So this Windows machine, I would like to show you, this is the quickest way of testing your development. So you don't need any additional hardware or Android simulators like what I am going to show in the next few minutes after this. So quickest way to is set a deploy target as Windows machine and click on Windows machine. So you can see the deploy succeeded and it's ready. And hello world, check after changing and restarting the app with emulator still on. Now this comes from the main page.xaml. If you look into the solution explorer, and it is the notes tree, application tree. This is main page.xaml, and so here in the XAML code, if you change anything on this label text, hello world, check after changing and restarting the application with the emulator still on, because this comes with some other text. Hello world, it is similar text, but I have changed it several times before recording with the hello world this Windows machine. So if you just for a quick check, hello world, if you just get rid of the rest of the sentence and make it hello world and go for the hot reloading, and then click on over here, hello world, welcome to .NET Maui platform app UI. So that's it. Now let's move on to the it comes from hello world, welcome to .NET platform app UI, multi-platform app UI. So we'll move on to the next section. So now I have connected my Samsung mobile, actual mobile, to this as a deployment target by connecting the USB-C port of my phone to the USB-C port of my desktop and doing the USB debugging, and that's all given in another video which will be there in the description. And if I click Samsung SM, this my mobile device as a deployment target, it gives me all of these builds, and my mobile device is actual, my mobile phone comes up with the hello world, which I will just project 1 minute. So you can see that my mobile device, this is actual mobile device, Kaushik's S21 hello world. Now if I clicked 1, 2, 3 times, so this is working on directly deployed on my own smartphone, smart mobile device. Hello guys, now I'm going to show you how to deploy the target, how to change the target to an Android emulator. The last time I have just shown you the deployment on my actual mobile device. Now I will show you the Android simulator. Now the simulator has got an advantage is that you don't need to have a physical phone, and you can create different simulators, and how to create the simulator is out of scope of this tutorial, and I will give you a detailed description of how to go about downloading and installing it from the Android device in another video, which will be there in the description. Okay, so this is my Android emulator. So I have got two Android emulators. This is one of them. Now the Android emulator is launching the emulator. You can see it will take a wee bit. The build has started, if you can see on the left below. So start debugging application, Android application. It is taking force close the debugging, and wow, hello world, check after keeping on the emulator on. Okay, so if we click 1 times, 2 times, 3 times. So that is on a particular emulator. Now I will stop this emulator and I will show you on another emulator, which is the one that also has been created. Android emulators, I've got this Galaxy Nexus API 33, Android 13 API 33, and Pixel 5. So Pixel 5 I have already shown. Now let's show the Galaxy Nexus one. So Galaxy Nexus one, click on the Galaxy Nexus one, and it will launch that particular emulator. You can see on the screen. It will come up in a while. Starting emulator. You can now see it getting started. Takes a wee bit of time, but if you have got a fast computer that I have got with the x86 64-bit microprocessor, although it is just AMD Ryzen, it's not an Intel processor, but still it works quite well. Pixel is starting now. I will let you go through all the steps rather than just skipping a bit, so that you can see it is showing now deploying to Galaxy Nexus API 33. It's now coming up. So again, it has come up on this Galaxy Nexus. Now what I want to show you is additionally that without closing this emulator, which I can close by pretty much this cross button, but I'll stop the application, change the application, and then you'll see that this will be reflected here itself, okay, without the emulator being stopped at all. Okay, so let us make some changes. My emulator is still on. I haven't closed this emulator, so let me write something here. Hello world, check after keeping the emulator on. So let us write emulator after restarting, changing, and restart the app with emulator still on. Okay, and then save it, and then bring it up, and then click on the Galaxy Nexus. It will start the build process once again, but see, I have not closed and restarted the emulator, rather than made it there itself, kept it open. It's all in front of you. Hello world, check after changing and restarting the app with emulator still on. So that's about the deployment on the couple of Android emulators, which you can pretty much do yourself. I'll just close this. Just a quick thing, although I have shown it in more details there. There is a Android here, Android SDK manager, Android device manager. So here, if you click on yes, I've got these two Android emulators. You can create another new one and give it all the details and click on create. It should start downloading. Sometimes it doesn't download immediately, so I had to repeat the process several times. over a couple of days, but that might be a server error. There is the image was not getting downloaded properly, but don't get discouraged. Keep on trying and you'll be able to successfully download and unzip your Android emulator and start doing all the experimentation that you need to do with Android emulator. Thank you very much for attending this session. We'll see you in the next lecture in the part 3.